stories right now. A deadly shooting at an ice facility in Texas and a water main break in Waterbury that's going to take hours to fix. Let's give you a live look at City Hall where a news conference is going on. Let's listen in.
At this point, I just don't think it would be a good idea for us to cut off the water to the people of Waterbury for that long, and particularly the hospital, as we talked about, as those tanks drain. The backup we're relying on for the hospital will be lost, and they would have to rely on tankers to supply their water. In addition, under the current circumstances, schools wouldn't be able to open. Under the plan we have now, schools will be open tomorrow, so I can assure you that we will be having schools starting tomorrow, so that will continue. I believe Watertown was also affected, and the superintendent is here from Watertown. But at this point, we understand the water has been turned back on, and we understand that Watertown is now fully back operational, so that's happening. I wouldn't, because pressure dropped, not throughout the entire city, but at the higher elevations, as the warning we put out, or the advisory we put out earlier today, people should continue to boil water if they're in an area where their pressure dropped or they lost water during this, until we've had a chance to re-energize the system and do the testing that's necessary. That should happen by tomorrow morning. So if you drink bottled water, that's fine. If you're going to drink the water, you need to boil it at least until we understand that the water has been clean, is good enough to drink. We expect that to be the case, but we need to test it to meet state standards for that. And with that, at that point, the system will be energized, the fire department, the tanks. Right now we have tankers from surrounding municipalities standing by in case there were a structure fire here. By this evening, as the tanks refill, the system will be sufficient again for firefighting purposes as well. So with that, we have the fire chief, the police chief, the school superintendent, our health director, and the water superintendent with us as well. So if you have any questions, I'd be happy to take them, or whoever here can answer them if I can't. Yes?
And I'm sorry, this is my first time covering the water main break. So
mine too.
Excuse me, ignorance here. When you say re-energize the water,
it means put water back into it. What we had done was, normally in a situation like this, we would have been able to turn off valves right in the vicinity of the break and localize the problem. Our system is over 100 years old. Some of the pipes and the valves are 130 years old, and so they have deteriorated, and the problem we're having is that the valves that we tried to shut off won't work. They won't shut the water off. It continues to run. So the only way to get water out of the system was to shut it off at the Watertown treatment plant. So that's 10 miles away. So we did that late yesterday. We expected the water to drain out of the 10-mile pipes. Now, the other thing to keep in mind is, in that 10 miles of pipe, there's somewhere in excess of 3 million gallons of water. The leak is a valve that's 2 inches in diameter coming off a 30-inch water main. So we were draining 3 million gallons through 2 inches at a time, so it was going to take some time to bring that down. That's why the water, we're running, the water is an issue here in the city. What we're going to do now is put water back. We're going to reopen the valves. We've done that in Watertown and let the water come back in. What will happen is the pipe will continue leaking through that valve, so we're going to continue to lose water. But the system will then be filled with water, so people will be able to turn on their taps and get water. The hospital will be taken care of, and the fire hydrants will all work again.
and in the meanwhile, again, just make sure I'm super clear.
You're listening to the mayor of Waterbury recap what is happening right now with this water main break, and more importantly, the repair plan. What we can tell you is there's definitely going to be school tomorrow. You are still going to have to boil some water. We'll be keeping in contact with any of the instructions for those of you who are living in Waterbury. But again, there's going to be school tomorrow, and they're working on fixing this, but 130-year-old pipes, it's a difficult job.